Hey guys, welcome back to Connecting the Dots, episode 2 with Arthur. This time around, we have Adam Shaw with us. What's up, Adam? How are you doing?
Hey man, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. You're looking solid with the Galaxy Razor jersey, man.
Yeah, bro, represent.
Well, okay. First of all, before we jump into the team, let's talk a little bit about yourself. Recently, you have taken a step back from being a player and you have switched to
hmm
the manager role of the team. Could you share with us why you made this change?
My team wanted to play with another player, and the organization actually wanted to keep me on in a different role because they valued me in some aspects. And I felt like I was kind of getting to a point in my career where I want to try something else because playing wasn't going too well for me, I guess. And I guess it was like either coaching or I think I would have preferred going into a coaching role because I
Mhm.
think I still like can bring a lot there. But I think you know, mm, mm, I think what played a big part was I felt that I liked Galaxy Racer as an organization a lot, and they were willing to give me a chance to do this. And there's also like an opportunity for me to grow and explore other things that I want to do too,
Yep.
while still kind of being in the um, same path that I was on, just
Mhm.
not playing, but in other aspects. So I think it was just a very good opportunity for me at the time.
Yeah, that's very good to hear. To often find players and the organization having a very solid relationship. That's always very good to hear. I think that's in some way the goal of an organization, I guess. Are you
Mhm.
enjoying your new role right now?
It's kind of weird right now because of COVID. So like
Mm,
I'm not with the players. So I would say like mm, I guess it's pros and cons. There are like things that I would like to do that I can't do just
mhm,
because we are not together. But there are also things uh that I'm doing now just because of COVID. Like just for example, like it's easier to wake someone up in a house than online in a different country.
yeah, that's for sure.
But yeah, players have been, I would say, pretty disciplined,
Mm,
and they haven't scolded me for nagging them yet. So it's everything's kind of okay.
that's good. That's good. So besides being a player, you have coached some teams in the past. So
Mm-hmm.
especially like Fnatic, do you think having the experience as both player and coach help you being a better manager?
I think from what I understand about myself, sorry, is that I'm I can be very helpful to bigger personality,
Mm,
but I don't have the big personality to be able to control or take over a group of people. So at least from what I feel, I've had like my most success and most comfort from working with someone who is uh a bigger personality and assisting that person.
mm. For example, would you say that would be Mushi, someone like a Mushi?
Yeah, I would say Mushi and Envy are probably the two best examples. Like they have a very strong idea of the game,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of like am able to understand their idea slowly. I think I learn fast.
Mm.
At least last time. I don't know what I am now, but I think that was like a big skill I had, and I kind of understood people well too. So I think um, I think like based on my experience, people who are very what's the word? People that can be strong can usually have difficulties communicating,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense. Like they can get their message across, but it's not always taken the right way,
Yep.
and it's not always what do you call it? Communicated in the nicest way, maybe,
Yeah.
or the best way possible to help your teammate learn. And I think I think it's very natural for people like that because
Mm-hmm.
if you know something and you tell someone it's this way, like 20 times a day, you're gonna get frustrated too. Like I'm not saying they're wrong or anything,
Yeah.
and I think it helps to be like that middle person in a team to like kind of help both sides and take burden off each other.
Yeah, I think definitely in a lot of teams, someone like that would be very good because I totally understand what you say. Sometimes it's just when you want to bring your point across, it might not be effective to sound very good to do
hmm
that. Sometimes it has to be harsh, and if you keep doing this a very harsh way, it could be very hard for the players to take it in the long term. So having this one guy that can make everything smooth and to keep the environment in a healthy way is definitely very good, I think.
Yeah, I think it always comes down to like the group of people you have.
Mm-hmm.
Like for all you know, if your five players can handle like brutal, honest truth, and they are like super professional about it, then you will not have issues like that. But not everyone is like that. Some people are more emotional or
Mm-hmm.
more maybe they don't understand so fast, so quickly. And I think identifying that is like the key to being able to communicate and help your teammates.
Yeah, speaking about this, you have played in different regions before. You have played in Southeast Asia, China, and also Europe. Do you think
Yeah.
people from different region behave in a different way, or it's just general for everyone? Do you think C players they like to be talk in a comfort way? Do you think Europe region they can accept the harsh way? What do you think about this?
I think when I was in Europe, everything was pretty straightforward and professional. I think the biggest difference there was like they like their short, intense boot camps instead of like how we like Asia and China does it, which is like long-term grind.
Yeah.
I think that's more like for C.
Mm,
And in China, I think it was much more direct and professional. Like they won't be like scared to just say like, "Hey man, you fucked up here," like
mm,
and they will like talk about it or argue about it. To them, that's like fixing a problem. I think in Asia, it's very natural for like one person to be talking.
mm.
Like just I mean,
Captain.
at least based on my experience, like when the captain talks, people tend to withdraw, go into their shell.
That's true.
Yeah, and I think NA is like they're more opinionated,
Mm,
but I can't say I have that much experience because I play with Complexity, who was like 2C, 3C, and
true.
it wasn't like a big all NA players. But I think if anything, like NA players have bigger personality compared to
Mm,
the Asians for sure,
mm.
and they are more willing to like talk about it.
Yeah.
And I think like going back to what I said, it's all about whether you can see past why they are talking like that. Why
Mm,
is someone shouting?
mm,
It's because they wanna fix the problem. And I think if you identify that someone on your team wants to fix the problem and make the team better, then ultimately you're working together towards the same goal. And I think
mm.
that's what matters the most.
Yeah. Personally wise, which one do you prefer the most, or which one do you think that is the most effective way so far?
Um for me personally, I find that the grinding every day didn't work.
Mm,
I'm a big fan of the long intense boot camps, like the 2 week boot camps with like 3 scrims a day
mm.
or 3 week boot camps. I feel like that was you last longer.
So the
Yeah,
EU
if
way of
anything, I
doing
feel
it.
like you last longer. Yeah, I
Mm,
did prefer the UA for sure.
yeah.
I feel like it's very mindless to play like 8 games a day, but
Mm,
I will say that maybe it's a bit more biased because like I play support, right?
yeah.
Like I think core players like they play a shit ton of Dota games, and
Mm,
I think it's what makes them so good too. So maybe it's just different.
yeah. It could be. So let's talk about your teams right in the TI qualifier. You guys ended up top six of the TI qualifier, which is just just right behind big traditional powerhouse names like TNC,
Oh,
Boom, Neon, Aspiration. Was the result?
hello. Am I still here?
Hello? Yeah, yeah, you're still here. You're lagging a little bit though, but
Yeah, just a bit.
yeah. So was the result within or out of expectation? Were you guys satisfied with it?
Mm, to be honest, we weren't satisfied. I don't
Mm,
think anyone was satisfied with it. I think even like top two was not satisfying for us because we did beat TNC and Fnatic in scrims, who were like the both the grand finalists.
mm,
But we will admit that, or at least I will admit that, going into the qualifiers, our set of heroes were not. Mm, how do I put it? I wouldn't really blame the draft or like the team because we
mm.
were pretty new, right? So
Yep.
overall, the number of heroes put together that we play well, like probably didn't add up to 20.
Mm,
And we probably needed our best to consistently beat all teams on the way up. And also starting from lower bracket and stuff
true.
like that. I guess things just didn't work out in our favor.
Mm. But I think you guys were still putting out very solid performance, even though you guys were just together for a very short time. Like Yokem joined you, and then in your team
Yeah.
as well. So do you think if you guys had a little bit more time, you could do what you could do more than what you guys did?
Um, I really don't know because I feel like when teams get together, there's always this honeymoon period too at the start.
True.
Before you like actually consistently lose together and sit down and have to solve problems together. I think that's like what makes a good team.
Mm,
But that being said, I think like I really appreciate the fact that my team, even before TI qualifiers, they said like we're gonna play together for a year.
mm,
And even though they didn't do the best in the qualifiers, they're still like sticking it out and they're still willing to like grind and they're looking more long term, which
mm.
I think is something a lot of people really lack nowadays.
Yep, for sure. Like given how chaotic, the post TI or the post TI qualifier shuffle is always be. There's a lot of teams shuffling around, so it definitely is a very rare thing for players to decide ahead that they want to be staying together. My next
Hmm.
question is actually, what's the plan of GXR in the next season? So you have already answered that. So it seems like you guys have made a decision to stay together as a whole for the next season.
Yeah, we are. We're definitely keeping everyone on the roster, and everyone has is mutually agreed that they do want to play together as well.
Mm. Do you think this is just because they define the chemistry, or because the relationship between the players are strong, the bond is there
I think what happened is that at least how many? Four of them played together before,
in T1?
and then it was in Tehran, I think, and then they separated, and then after separating, they realized that they did want to play together.
Mm,
Yeah, so and then Alacrity was like a bonus on top of that.
mm,
So this is kind of how the team worked out, and it's why they are willing to play together. They've already been through, it's like sometimes in Dota, like when you shuffle too much, you go
yep.
through like a full cycle of players, and then you realize like this is what I want, and they all kind of had that at very similar times, so that worked out for us.
Yeah, so a lot of shuffles going on, and it comes down to this friendship Dota that you guys finally
Yeah,
finalized
yeah,
together. Yeah, that sounds
yeah, I
very
would
good.
say so.
Mm. Is there any like is there anything in the team that you find could be improved when you were a player? And so now that you are at the manager role, is there anything that you are looking to fix that you couldn't have before?
You mean in a managerial
Yeah,
aspect?
yeah.
I
It could
think
be in
there's
a
a lot
team
of
aspect as well.
team aspect. I think there's a lot of like small things that you can do that will help make your team more consistent. For example, I think our team has consistency issues. Like
Mm,
they play well after like 1 week of scrims. It's when they like start being consistent again. But when we take breaks and we don't have that 1 week pre-scrim, it
mm,
goes away again. And I think that's something that I've dealt with when I was playing and I know how to fix it. But at the same time, it's also a bit odd right now because everyone's in their own home and it's hard to monitor.
mm,
So it's kind of like stuck in the middle,
yeah,
where like I can only give advice if I want to, like how to build habits and how to be more consistent, about your like daily routine and stuff like that to minimize change in
yep,
your life. But whether people actually like want to do it or not, and because it is a lot of discipline after all to
yep,
like be in such a routine, especially like post TI, like
yeah.
it's 1 year more to TI and maybe people are not in that mood yet. So, it's a bit of a floating thing in the air right now.
Yeah, it seems like discipline is always the biggest challenge when the team is not together in the bootcamp. Do you
Yeah.
think besides this, is there any bigger challenge that there is for your team to hit your target for the next season? Because I'm pretty sure you guys are aiming for the top two if the season thing is still as the same format to get into upper
Mm,
division eventually.
I feel right now, I feel opposition is a given. Like we'll get there, even
Mm,
if we lose the next one, we'll get there. But I want a championship from my team.
mm,
I think it's not ridiculous of me to expect that from them
for sure.
because I think that's what I see. I see a team that can win championships, and I'm sure they see it too.
Mm.
It's just the path there is not. It hasn't been the straightest for us, I guess. So that's the day I'm waiting for.
Yeah, it's never easy, but you guys definitely show a lot of promises for that because you guys are right now participating in the BTS Pro Series, looking
Mm-hmm.
freaking hot. You guys were taking down good teams, 2-0s like T1, SMG, Neon. What do you think are the factors that contributed to this like such a strong group stage performance from the squad? Because as of this week, you guys have already made it into the upper bracket of playoff.
I think it was weird because like coming into BTS, we had
Mm,
like maybe 2 or 3 days of scrims. We had 2 days of scrims and 1 day of break because someone had some occasion to go to. And then coming in, it was looking really good. And then we started playing this 8 p.m. series that the team. It was just really bad. Like all the series that we played at 8
mm,
p.m. because it started really late. It started like 9 p.m. or 8:30, and I don't know why, but I think the team was not used to playing at the times.
mm,
Maybe that's my bad. I should have found later screens, but um, it just felt really different from the first 2 days we played. The first 2 days we played like afternoon games, and the team just seemed to be like really on a roll. They were
mm,
stomping like the bear teams, like you said, like Neon and T1. But then we came into like halfway mark of the tournament. We were playing these 8 p.m. games, and it just felt very dead. The atmosphere, like, or at least it's not up to par as the afternoon games.
yeah,
And I also can't really blame the team because we're playing really late, and it's a lot of waiting and it's like
yeah,
after dinner and stuff like that. Um, but I will say like that's what I want to take from this is that we
mm,
are again inconsistent,
mm-hmm,
because it's not like we don't have what it takes, or at least that's the way I feel. Like it's very clear that our team can beat anyone, and we have definitely beat everyone before.
mm,
But whether we can do it 6 games in a row to get to the grand finals is it's up to us to figure that out right now.
mm. Yeah. I mean, you guys also did beat our team in the qualifiers and get into the
Oh,
BTS eventually. Feels bad, man, for us, but
feels
I mean,
bad, man.
looking at how good you guys are doing, that
Hmm.
is not something to be ashamed of at all. So, is there any expectation for you guys for this 20? Like any realistic expectation? You mentioned about championship. Do you think this is the one that you have a very good shot at?
I don't know how the team feels. I've never like talked to them about this recently, but
Mm,
I feel like my team should be winning tournaments,
mm,
or they should be placing top 3 in tournaments. But I feel like once they break the once they break that first championship, like this
mm-hmm,
team is gonna grow. And I think that's like the biggest hurdle standing in front of us right now. Is not only mentality, but I guess I would say it's mainly mentality. And it's also a bit of confidence. It's very confidence boosting, I think, to be
mm-hmm,
able to be in such a what do you call it? Be in such a zone and actually be the best team for once, Because
yeah,
I'm sure me included, like everyone on my team has not won anything in a very long time,
mm-hmm.
and that in itself is an achievement that I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah. Is this the kind of thing that you think could come very naturally, like the motivation one or the form kind of thing? Or do you think this could be artificially created somehow?
You mean the confidence?
Yeah, the confidence, the confidence for you to go through the mentality block, etc., etc.
I don't think they're like hitting a mentality block though is the thing. It's not like they're not confident, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like there's always I wouldn't say doubt, but if you're not winning when you win and when you are the champion, like there's no doubt in your mind that you are the best.
Yeah.
Like no one can tell you otherwise. You cannot tell yourself otherwise. You have proved that
Mm-hmm.
you are the best by winning. That's
Mm-hmm.
what results are, and right now we like this. That's what we like. I
Mm-hmm.
think so. It's a lot of. I wouldn't say it's wrong to be confident, but there's a line,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's also good to have some sort of cockiness going into games in the sense that not say to like I can just play fuck around and I'll win, but
Mm-hmm.
in a sense that we can do this and we are going to beat them with it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I think definitely confidence is so strong, especially when you are going up against these powerhouses, the strong, traditionally strong
Mhm.
teams. You need to have confidence in your own team and yourself as well to go far. And since we are on this like thing, can you describe to us a little bit of each of your teammates? Like how are they personally? How are they in the game? And who do you think is the one that is really driving the forces?
Um, I think I think our team has like a very good balance of voice and skill right now.
Mm,
I think like for example, I think Pulsar and Miracle they make a lot of calls, and Miracle has like a more unique understanding of the game. I think like he calls things that are mm, more detailed. I think
mm,
like how they want to play or how we want to like deal with a specific hero, which I think is a big pro to bring to a team. Uh, who else is there? Alacrity is probably less of a talker,
Mm,
but he's very high skilled, and I would say he can be a bit pubby sometimes or a bit
mm,
too sacrificial because I've seen him carry games, like straight up carry games from the mid lane playing some like voice spirit or something, and I think that he tends to lean too much to one side sometimes.
mm,
Like he's either too sacrificial or too selfish.
yeah.
And I think that's something for him to work on, and we've already talked about it.
Mm,
Um Jokem, I think Jokem was the biggest surprise to me. Like I never
mm,
played with this guy before, and he was always like low key under the radar. I think he's actually like super high skilled, but I think communication wise he can do a bit better.
mm.
So like I said, like
Yeah,
they
balance it
balance
out.
each other out, you know? Yeah. I think in your dream is when he first started playing with us, maybe he wouldn't make so many calls in the early game, but he always did his job. He always got his job done, I
Mm,
think. And he's always trying to get better at doing his job.
mm,
And I think now that we've played together for a while and he's like developed, I wouldn't say more confidence, but like he understands his role even better because he was playing mid before.
yeah.
He can be very he can make really game winning calls, which I think
Mm,
is something that's really important for a carry.
mm,
Yeah. I think all in all, like what I see in this team are a bunch of people that are learning together
mm,
and have shown that they can take down these giants in C, you
yeah.
know? And I think that's something that no one can take away from them, and it's gonna happen one day for sure if they keep at it.
Yeah, I mean the symptoms are already showing right now. You guys are doing very well in the BTS group stage. Hopefully, you
Hmm.
guys can keep it up in the playoff. I personally is super looking forward to see you guys winning like multiple championship because I mean like I hang out before you guys. I love Vincent Alacrity. I think that guy is like so talented, but he definitely has something to work on. But once he passed through that hill, I think he's gonna be amazing. Especially playing with in your dream. I think the two of them is like I don't I just feel like these two cores are just so high skilled together, and it's
Hmm.
such a
Yeah,
luxury
understand.
for a team to have two cores like that.
Both. Yeah, I agree. I agree for sure. I think each of us have like a hurdle in front of us that we've hit before, and we're all working on getting past it. And maybe it'll take 6 months or 6 weeks. You know, I don't know, but we are helping each other to push through and work on it.
Nice. So I mean, lastly, TI has been postponed to the October, meaning that
Hmm.
next season could be around November or even later, which
Hmm.
is at least like 4 months from now.
Hmm.
May I ask what's the plan for GXR during this non-DPC period?
Uh, for now, definitely just shout out to BTS for hosting these tournaments. I
Mm,
think it's a big motivation for a team to have something to grind for, even though it's not like a major or something. Like BTS has always helped out in SCA and tried to help the scene, I
yeah.
would say, you know, which is really, really nice for us. And I guess for now, at least looking at what's in front of me, is like we have BTS to play. That's about it for now.
Do you think you guys would want to keep participating in these third party tournaments, or would you guys actually want a
To
longer
be
break or anything
to
like
be
that?
honest, like I think tournaments that like beyond the summit where you know
Mm-hmm.
like all these teams are gonna come in and do their best. They are we'll always say yes to them. They are
Mm,
just such a player to play. It's the maybe the like slightly lower tier tournaments where people are using it as scrims and there's
mm,
like sometimes you just don't know what's happening in the game that's can be very demoralizing or have
true.
a very negative effect on the player's mentality going into the tournaments, which is something that we would definitely want to avoid.
Mm-hmm.
So we would most likely choose not to participate in those.
I see. Yeah, I mean, choosing the tournaments to play is definitely very important. You always want to have, like you say, the balancing is very important from playing good tournaments and resting and actually grinding pubs and such. So yeah, I mean, that's all of my question. Thanks for the talk, Adam. I hope you enjoyed the talk as much as I do
No,
before.
of course I do, man. It's
Right.
always a pleasure talking to you.
Thanks, man. Same for me. Before we go, do you have any shout outs to your fans, to your sponsors or anything?
Mm, I guess I'll take this chance to like tell everyone that I've sort of retired for now. I
Mm-hmm.
never really like said anything about it, and I'm managing Galaxy Racer, I guess. So thank you for those who like supported me at like any point in my career. I really appreciate it. I hope you bring a support to Galaxy Racer right now and the team. You know, they're all going hard at it, and we'll try to do the best for you.
Yep.
Uh, yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Adam. I hope to see you again. Hope to play basketball with you again, man. Take care.
Me too, man. Me
See you,
too.
man.
See you.
Thank you. Bye bye.